paint presented by Glacier. And if you're painting a picture, that was a masterpiece for Minnesota in the first half. Alana Smith has now missed the only 2 threes that Minnesota has as a team this afternoon.
We thought the Aces were going to get an easy back contesting, and they come out with nothing.
Whistle, and Alana Smith delivers in the paint. Smith limited
First half, 7 rebounds, which was a team high.
Jackie Young picked up the foul. Smith with the mid. That record again, 13 of 14 from 3. Minnesota beat Vegas by 31 points last week. Shot clock again winding down. We've seen this a lot, where Vegas has had to take a last-second shot. Smith,
number one, off of your shoulders when you've been thinking about playing New York in that final game of the WNBA Finals, losing, and then you beat them at home. And so I think they're playing a little more free after that victory as well, Pam.
Good defense that time by the Aces. That's a shot clock violation. 9 shooting.
Yeah, Collier did have 4 assists, and I bet at least 3 of them were to Kayla McBride for 3s.
Bell hits from the corner. Kirsten Bell making her bench. She was really good offensively coming off the bench. And that's just, again, another example.
Vegas has not been very good. Now, they did had some different matchups, pre-switching, and were really switching a lot defensively in the first place, but it's just been a tough go for them against pick and roll.
And that pass a little bit behind Wilson, guarded by Smith. Asia slices in and creates it herself.
And that is what Asia Wilson can do. We heard Carolyn Peck talking about the Las Vegas Aces at halftime and some different schematic things they did with Asia in their last one to get her run the show.
Well, Collier hits the first 3 she has taken in this game. There's the matchup. Collier guarding Wilson. The help coming from Smith. That left the other Smith, Melissa, open, and she was able to drive in and get the basket.
Yeah, high level of difficulty on that shot. Took some contact as well.
McBride finally misses a shot. It hit her first 8 for 3.
Opportunity.
So far.
Asia Wilson's got a switch there. Again, high level of difficulty. Rotation defensively was there on the backside.
Collier trying to get it in to Melissa, rebounding. Only Angel Reese is averaging more rebounds per game, and only Nafisa Collier.
Her eyes look like she went to another place.
Yeah, no one was enjoying it more than Courtney Williams. McBride has missed 2 in a row from distance. Smith working against McBride.
Opportunity, but just getting early offense and taking advantage of mismatches.
It's such a big mountain to climb here for the Aces. Good pass by Young into Smith, but couldn't get it in over her head. You know, Courtney Williams going to want to push it, but she's got Wilson picking her up. Jackie Young, and nobody underneath to get it, but Carlton comes away with it. Some mass substitutions. How about this is so maybe getting these 5 players in to get the starters a little bit of rest, knowing they have to play tomorrow.
Good defense by Nye on Kayla McBride.
Sometimes the bench players could come in and instances like this play a little bit more freely. Jewel Lloyd with 10 points in the first half off the bench. Yes.
I will say that I've been calling for Kayla McBride to not only be in the three-point shooting contest.
Earlier this year, KMAC had 8 in the first half, but is 0 for 2 from
their wages on whether or not they think she's going to break the record.
Yes, and the answer is not anytime soon because she's on the bench. Nye. Jessica Shepard, who gave Minnesota a great shot in the arm in the first half. And Smith went to the bench with fouls. Oh, Courtney Williams.
Wonderful two-man game. And it's because of how she's not afraid to get the ball up and get it back.
Shepard now with 16 points and 9 rebounds, had a double-double last week.
In just 14 minutes.
Yes, had a double-double last week in the blowout win against the Aces. Williams directing traffic. Heidemann now in the game. Collier. The Aces with 5 reserves in right now, including Jewel Lloyd. Dana Evans, a little bit too strong. Shepard's got herself another double-double. So back-to-back double-doubles for Shepard.
Last year in their finals run. And Shepard is just tough, strong, and just brings another dimension.
By Minnesota back in 2019, tore her ACL. Missed a couple of seasons, including last year, but boy, this bench
this year, her three-point percentage recently is starting to go up. A player that's really struggled. I mean, that's her shot. But if she can give them what she's been giving them this year consistently, that's another punch up from last season.
Shot clock again. They're not going to get one off. And here's Heidemann on the breakout. Defense to offense, that Cheryl Reeve loves. With the stop. Kia Stokes. Gustafson's second chance at a 3, and she hits it.
Nice board work by Kia Stokes, and she shot it at a high percentage. But that's what's different with her game than Alyssa Smith and Kia Stokes, who just doesn't shoot it as often.
Barely shoots the ball. In fact, next WNBA game is tomorrow afternoon at 3's birthday.
Does that mean today is your birthday?
She's 35 years old today and playing like a kid.
But wait, does that mean today is your birthday?
Birthday with Skylar.
I knew that. As soon as you said that, I was like, it's Pam's birthday. I am such a bad partner. Happy birthday, Pam.
It's all about Skylar.
I got you.
Get to see her tomorrow. There's the 3 for Nye. Started off the Alabama rookie. Von Anderson is in for Minnesota as Collier hits another 3. Anderson.
Von Anderson is a tough on-ball defender.
Played her college ball at Texas, was undrafted coming out. Lloyd goes by Smith, runs into Anderson, who's called for the block foul.
Ooh, I thought that was pretty good rotation.
Yeah.
Cheryl Reeve is going to look to see if she should challenge.
70% in this game. Lloyd gets in for the bucket.
Game that Jewel Lloyd felt comfortable and was getting to her spots and was making good decisions, but this Minnesota offense has been relentless.
Heidemann hit the second one after missing the first one. There's that 3-point potency of Smith. Took it away from Lloyd. Not going to wait for anybody. It's Collier. Nafisa Collier has 14 points in this quarter. Lloyd over Shepard's outstretched hands, the 2 Golden Domers. Now the pink dome of Nafisa Heidemann.
That's good, Pam.
Stretching here. Shot clock is off, and Nafisa Collier's hurt. And right now, Minnesota in control. Pam Ward, LaShawna Robinson, and Angel Gray joining you here in Las Vegas. Alana Smith with the block. Nafisa Collier just left the game late in the third quarter with a turned ankle. We will get a report to you as soon as we can, if we can, before we get off the air. And Minnesota dominating in this game. Shooting over 65% from the floor over the Aces.
And Becky Hammon has had her bench in the game. Starting about
save your energy for tomorrow. A lot of the people here have started to make alternative plans in Vegas as Gustafson hits her second three of the game. These two teams will play here back in Vegas in early September.
Good defense by Gustafson here.
Finish.
She's got a little bit more experience in size than last year. Remember, Dorka Uhas did not return this season. Maisha Hines out.
Bell with the shot. Kirsten Bell in the starting lineup again for the third straight game after being used sparingly, averaging a career-high 4.5 points per game this year. Had a prolific career at Florida Gulf Coast. Smith step back. Kova. Nope. Minnesota continuing to hit the...
They've been getting offensive rebounds.
Clock winding down now for Anderson. In and out. Bell fires again. That is Anastasia Olari-Kosu, number 7 for Minnesota, rookie from Seattle. Is a team that Minnesota will be playing on Tuesday night on the road, so she'll get to go see and play against her idol. There she is, and the bucket.
The second youngest player in the WNBA, who also played for Seattle.
Right. So we'll have the two puppies up there on Tuesday. Kosu turned 20 back in April. Malunga's just 19. Played professionally in Europe. So this kind of a game, there's still a lot of game to be played. What's to be gained right now for Vegas?
Well, it looks like Becky is resting her...
And the Valkyries, who are ahead of Vegas in the standings.
You know, when Kayla Thornton went down, we were all devastated for her because of the amazing season she had as a first-time All-Star. But I still felt like the Valkyries could make it into the playoffs because with their style of play, they can put plug anyone into that system, and their defense doesn't change. That's the thing that they hang their hat on, their toughness, their defense, and they've still got Tip Hayes.
Which has led her to the next step in her leadership, which she does a collective and collaborative scout with the guards of Jewel, Jackie, and Chelsea. Over the last 3 games, she's gotten together with them and tried to find different ways to make everyone eat and find ways that they can be productive on the as a starting lineup, what each person needs to bring. And just the fact that she gets up in front of the class, she will break down things with her computer and say, how can we get better together? That is something, as Jackie said, she gives her an A for making sure that everyone understands what the assignment is. And she'll have a lot.
Watching film has been something she's talked about more in the last couple of years, and just noticing defenses and watching different schemes and things. And I mean, again, that's why she's able to continue to raise her level.
So Kleondakova makes it 100 for Minnesota. Minnesota has now,
and this team looked very different. And I think it's big for them. Not only is Kayla McBride hitting threes, Natisha Heideman's getting her stroke back. Bridget Carlton is starting to shoot the 3 at a higher percentage as Cheryl Reeve is.
Kosu, a little bit of a hesitation, kicks it back out. Anderson, Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammond playing their 18 points today. That's a new season high. She has been terrific.
And I like when Kayla McBride.
She already said some in the first half. 8 for 8 from 3 in the first half for McBride from 3. And the record for any game is 9 made threes. Match day is done. Seattle got Indiana coming in tomorrow. Heidemann rolls one in. That's a tough stretch for Seattle, right? They have that double overtime on the WNBA app to get all your updated.
And speaking of Atlanta, they had a big win over the Phoenix Mercury. Angel, I know you see a lot of the dream. What is happening with that team in this stretch? They're playing well.
China. It is done by a committee, and what I love about what Carl Smesko has mentioned about his team, he said, I go after the hot. They've been able to get the ball up the floor, and Naz Hillman, I would be remiss if I didn't mention how big she has been off the bench for this team.
Is the attention of that team because of her work ethic and how she shows up
at Michigan University.
yeah,
Ladies,
outside shot, which was kind of the knock on her coming in.
ladies,
Kova getting some nice minutes this afternoon.
3 of the Diva. Played a few seasons in LA. Aha.
Oh, Shepard behind the back. Some flair to go along with her season-high 18 points. Vegas led very briefly in this game. It was 2-0. And since then, it's been all Minnesota. They have led as they do now, or they before this basket. As a team, Minnesota shooting over 60 on 41 baskets, out rebounding Vegas by 20. So the score here is not, it's not lying. I mean, they've dominated them in every aspect. Points. And they are knocking on the door of the largest road win ever in WNBA history. The Houston Comets in 1998. That would have been year 2.
That was a long time ago.
They won the first 4 championships in this league. Vegas is just going to have to rest up and get ready for Golden State tomorrow afternoon, where they play at 3 o'clock local time. But
she was able to walk off the floor on her own, and she has yet to.
And we have not received an update.
ladies, I am told by their PR that she, of course, is out. And just shows you who Nafisa Collier is. Not just her team came to take aid for her and cover her, but also the aces came over as well to make sure that she was okay. Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray being one of them as well. They understand who she is and have spent some time with her at Unrivaled as well in different capacities. So they understand the magnitude of what she brings, not just to the team, but to the league.
Yeah, they see half her face was in it.
But another impressive showing for the Minnesota Lynx, who go to 24-5 on the season. The Aces just set a new record for their most threes made in a game, 17 today, 8 of them by Kayla McBride, all in the first half.
I mean, this is just a tremendous showing, for beyond impressive.
The Minnesota Lynx have set a new WNBA record for the biggest road win, largest margin of victory on the road in WNBA history. The 98 Comets, you're number 2 right now. It was a 53-point victory for Minnesota.